Okay, there we go. So welcome to the next level session today. We're going to continue on with the theme of this week, which is retargeting stuff, right? We've been on Monday, we installed some retargeting scripts into our KV course site. Yesterday, we dove deep on the audience creation options on Facebook and Google. And then today, we're going to get into the meat of all this and show some example ads and show how to run a few of these. And I hope by the end of today, you'll have full context on what this is all about. It'll start to really make sense. I think it makes sense for most people, but maybe when you see a few of these examples, it'll help a little more. The replay of this, before anybody asks, we always get the question. It's at insiderealestate.com/webinars. We have this playlist right here. So it's just chronological order. You'll see all the latest stuff getting posted right here. It looks like I might have missed one. I'll clean this up. You know what I did? I dated I dated this one 2/22/22. That's what I did wrong. And that was actually 28th. So this is from earlier in the week. This is Monday. This is Tuesday. And here we are on Wednesday. So I'll clean that up right after, guys. Hey, Raphael, how you doing? So let's just jump right in. What I did, because I didn't think there would be a ton of time to show the creation of all of these ads, all within the hour that we have today, I created a few up front to show examples of them. And then we'll kind of show how to run each type quickly because it's going to be pretty repetitive. So the first one I want to share with you guys is a simple thanks for visiting video where you just get on camera like I am here and you thank somebody for visiting your website. And I'll show you the ad. I'll show the creation of the ad for this. And I'd like to give you guys these example links. It looks like they're on my private Gmail, which isn't a big deal. So change to anyone with link, copy link. So if you're watching live, you can access the links that are in here. But let me just show you the first one. So I was trying to hold my external microphone over the computer. I don't know if you guys heard that very well, but I'll drop it to you. Okay, yeah, I'll drop you the link. But all I did, there's not a lot to this. It's, hey, thanks for visiting my website. And I try to spice it up a little. I put the logo over the video and I put my cell number there kind of down in the bottom in the black. And then I did just tease something they can do on the site, call them back into the site. But you don't have to even go that far. You can just say, hey, thanks for visiting my website. Here's my cell number. You know, if you need to call me. This ad isn't so much about getting the person to call you right away, as it is, as we talk about a lot, as it is about just making another touch and letting them get to put a face and a voice. You know, they can see you to the emails that they're going to be getting from KV Core in the follow-up. And again, for context, we have our growth system, right? We have kind of two phases in that. We did that webinar last week, where the first phase is you're generating the leads, and then the second phase is you're converting the leads. And this retargeting stuff we're doing all week falls under that category of helping to convert. So I would invite all of you, this is an example of a retargeting ad you can do. I would invite all of you to actually record this video. All you need is your iPhone, right? Or your webcam. You don't have to do the overlays that I did. In case anybody's curious, all I did was use, let me see, all I did was use Screencast-O-Matic with some of the light editing functionality they have. Screencast-O-Matic is $50 a year. It's very affordable. And I just kind of added some of their text overlays and image overlays to do those effects. But you don't even have to go that far. Just getting on camera and saying hello to people and thanking them for visiting your website is a good way to go. Now, what will happen, you know, in my case, I got the hat on backwards. I meant to have it forward because I have St. Pete, like that, my town. I have a hat for my town, but I screwed that up. But anyway, some people might see the backward hat and be like, I don't want to work with this guy. He's not my style. And that's fine because it kind of repels the people you don't want to work with anyway, right? So I would say just be yourself however you're comfortable. And what will naturally happen is you'll build rapport with those people coming to your website who naturally resonate with you, right? And then over time, they'll get to know your name. It'll seem to them like you're kind of more, you have a bigger marketing budget than maybe you do, right? Because you're following them all around the web with messages like this. So this is just an example. And what I'd like to do is show you guys kind of how to run this particular ads. So I just want to make sure I have it saved really quick to my hard drive. Oh, I do. Okay. And then I'm going to run this as a Facebook video ad targeting one of the audiences we did yesterday. And then we'll get into some other examples. But let's look at the actual flow of running the ad now. So yes, I do have the link to that app, Roger. It's just screencast-o-matic.com. Screencast-o-matic.com. It's just a screen recording software, just like Loom or Snagit, any of those. It's a little more affordable than say getting ScreenFlow or the TechSmith one that for Windows, I forget what that's called, Camtasia. So I've used Screencast-O-Matic probably for 5 or more years now, very happily. So, but you can use anything to do this. I'm sure there are apps on your phone, right, that you could just put text over, just record on your phone and put text over. I think the native Samsung apps that I have can do that. So, all right, so there's the video. Let's go ahead now into our ad account right here. I got some extra stuff here. Just get that out of the way. So we'll go into our ad account. We're going to create the ad. Okay, and when you create your ad, your retargeting ads, you can use any of the objectives that Facebook offers. So you can do an ad that asks for the lead form again. You can do an engagement ad that's kind of an off post on your business page. You can do an awareness or a traffic. It really doesn't matter. I would say that probably the easiest, most straightforward is just click traffic. When you get here, click continue. We'll call this traffic retargeting. Okay, so that's my name. I just want to have it there. Now, the special ad category, I'm actually not sure if you can get away with not clicking this, but it doesn't really matter so much because the targeting itself is going to be your custom audience. So I'm clicking it to be better safe than sorry, but I think maybe in a retargeting setting, you might not need this. Even though the bots on Facebook, if they hear you say real estate, they might ban the ads. So I'm clicking that just to be better safe than sorry. I'll click next here. We'll call the ad set name visitors to website. That's the ad set is who I'm targeting, right? So visitors to my website. And then I'm going to scroll down right here. You saw the budget up here. I can actually change that down. For retargeting, we only need to spend a few bucks a day. 5 is more than enough probably when you first start doing this. Even $1 a day when you first start doing it is probably enough because you're only going to have a handful of people pixel, right? And especially if you have one of those audiences that only has people on it for a short duration, like 2 or 3 days. Remember, we built the audiences and you can set how long they stay on it. You may only need $1 or $2 a day to get the effect of an ad like this, to get the benefits. So now the important part is I'm going to come to custom audiences right here. And I'm going to choose the Ryan's visited Ryan. I'm looking for the one that it is. Ryan's KV Core website top 5 visited. Forgetting which one I chose. I'm just going to choose the all website traffic, which is probably what you can do too. So this is the one where it's everybody who visited your site. Okay. And it's giving me a weird estimate. Let's just see here. Oh, here it is. Ryan's KV Core site, all visitors. That's the one I was looking for. So you'll find the name of the audience that you created per the instructions from yesterday. You don't really need to worry about the geo targeting here because it's only going to be those people who visit your website. So if they were in your area or they were searching from across the country because they're thinking of moving there, you're not really worried about only showing those ads in those areas because wherever those people are who are on your site, they're going to see the ad. So next, we're going to go to our placements. I'll just do automatic, let it run for everything, and we'll click next. So good question from Nicholas. Do these audience populate after you've ran a certain amount of ads for Facebook? No, it's a little different in Google. You actually manually create them. And we went over that yesterday. You go into the audiences section in your business manager and you can add them and set a bunch of criteria. So I'll reference yesterday's webinar. We dove deep on that. I don't think Facebook does an automated kind of similar to one the way that Google does. Okay, so we can hook up our Instagram account. But that was the important thing, that last step where I chose the audience. That's the big sauce here, right? And then we're going to add our creative. So I'll do create video. Well, what am I going to do? I'm simply going to grab that video. Bear with me, guys. Having trouble with Windows 11. It's driving me nuts. Because it should be just sitting right here. Maybe I was in the wrong folder. But no, it's not sitting here. Give me a second. So we're going to find our video on our desktop. See, it says it's here. Browse folder. Thanks for visiting. It's right there. Says it's there. I may have clicked the create video. That's what I did. My fault. So I found my file. We're uploading the video. And then our text for the ad is simply, thanks for visiting my website recently. Feel free to text, call anytime. And then you put your number on there. Right. And then you can kind of sign it if you want. You don't really need to overthink this. Put any message you want there, right? But we're doing a simple thanks so that, again, they match our voice and our face to the person who's now sending them automated property alerts and automated smart campaigns, all the other things we do to automatically follow up with KV Core. Thanks for searching. Thanks for visiting website recently. Like that could be the headline that shows up underneath. And that's it, guys. Pretty straightforward, right? We hit publish. And now anybody who visits my website who's in that audience will start to see that ad, follow them around the web. So Elizabeth, yesterday, this is what we've been doing all week. We've been doing a series about retargeting. So you'd want to watch the Monday one and then the Tuesday one right here. So this is all part of a series. Go. And I misdated the one yesterday, so I'll just fix that for anybody that's confused. It's the one from 2/28/22, not 2/22. Roger, yeah, you could use your smart number for sure. If it's your own number, for sure. You don't want to use the office-wide number and tell people to call it, because if they call it, it'll rotate through the whole office if they're not already in the database, the number they're calling from. But if you have your own smart number, for sure, you would use that. Okay, so a second version of a similar ad, and basically on the creative side, the possibilities are endless. But I also did an example ad where I do a tour. I do a tour of the website they were just on. So I say, hey, thanks for visiting the website. And then I show the website. So I'll drop this to everybody. And I kind of walk through a couple of different things on the website they might want to check out. Like I have my deals page. I have my open house list page. I show them where to go to get the value of their house, how to do a search. So that's kind of a video anybody could do. And it's a nice way to get people engaged with your website. So, hey, thanks for visiting my website. Here's a few things you can do on it, right? How to sell your house and so on. So anything that you're posting to the site, if you have a custom page with specific resources, if you have a lender, who has an offer, maybe you have a custom page about a financing program they're doing, you could show people that in that follow-up video, and you would post it, run the retargeting ad much the same way. And in fact, what you could do is you could run multiples of the same retargeting ads within one ad set on Facebook, if that makes sense. You're able to that same target, you can add multiple ads in here and let Facebook kind of rotate them and optimize for the one that'll work best. So any questions on that? It's not too complicated. You just go in there and run, you pick the right audience, and make sure you have a simple thank you video that does that. So the next thing I'd like to show you guys is kind of how to do this stuff, the video ad on Google as well. Okay, so let's run these same ads on Google. And what you're going to need for Google is you're going to need the actual YouTube URL. So I took the raw file of the video and I had that MP4 format on my hard drive. And you just saw me fumble around and get that uploaded to Facebook. When you run the ad for the same video on Google and you have it show on YouTube, you need the YouTube file. So you'll want to upload it there. Screencast-O-Matic makes it one-click easy to upload a video to YouTube. You just connect your YouTube account. You can always click the upload to YouTube button right here. So that you know, when I'm done recording, I just click save this video file and I click upload to YouTube and everything's kind of ready to go. So let's hop now into our ad account, the Google Ads account. Okay, and we're going to create a new campaign. So we'll just click new campaign. We're going to choose website traffic. All of these are fine, just to continue. They're showing you your conversion actions and telling you that they're just going to track those. And then the network that we're going to run this on, the type of ad is going to be video. So I'm choosing video, continue. It's targeting, for example. So you just give it a title. Leave this at maximize conversions right there. And then again, we can have a small daily budget. I'll just set it to $5. And then my locations, I am actually going to explicitly go out of the way and just say all countries and territories. And the reason is because we are targeting anybody who got pixeled on our site. They were there already. So we don't really care where they are in the world. And then we're going to do Brian's retargeting videos in the ad group. So we'll call it. And then this is the important part. I think I showed this yesterday. We go to audience segments. And then we click in the interests and detail. We click in the your data right here. Excuse me, go into your data. And you can see here, all Forever Florida visits and Ryan's subdomain visitors. So this one is actually mine that I've created separately from the rest of the office. So I'll just run this since it's me, you know, thanking them for visiting my site. But you can see within one account, you can have multiple audiences based on the URLs getting visited. So if you have a team and you want to have everybody on your team do a retargeting video like this, you can easily create audiences, as I showed yesterday, based on their link. So, hey, you tell Google, anytime somebody visits this agent's subdomain, we want them to see this retargeting video. And you can do that all out of one Google account if you want. We'll leave this optimized targeting selected. I'm not sure what it was. I'm not sure I trust Google, but for now, I'll just leave it. And then all we need to do down here, which says create your video ad, we just paste in the URL to the video. And then our final URL could be anything we want. So I'm just going to call them back to the website. So that'll just call them back. And then we need a call to action. Visit site, something like that. Thanks for visiting. This 15 characters thing is a bummer. Here, you can put your name maybe. Right. So, and then our headline, thanks for visiting my website recently. Search for Pinellas deals on my website today. So we're just kind of filling in the things that Google wants. But the important part here is that this ad is going to show right before people watch other videos on YouTube. You guys have seen these ads where it says you have to skip. So this is a skip ad that people will see before they can watch your other content. So if they use YouTube at all and they were on your real estate website, there's a good chance they're going to see these ads. My kids see these all the time and they can't stand it because their friends tell them they saw their dad's ad too. And it's just like, it's funny. But basically for pennies a day, right, you can start to feel like to those people who are visiting your website, they're going to see your ad, follow them around on Facebook, and they're going to see them follow them around on YouTube. And they're going to start to think, wow, this person is everywhere. They're like really professional. They must have a huge marketing budget. This is all subconscious, right? They must be killing it. Or it might be somebody like a friend or a family member. Wow, they're really on their game here, right? They must have a huge market. So what that does is it creates more trust and it increases the chances that you'll convert the lead without you, spending a ton of money to do this. So we'll click create campaign. And that's it. So now somebody visits my website, they leave, and they get my video ads both on Facebook and Google. So that's the second example. So I'll show you guys a few more that might make this a little easier. Okay. So I started with the hard stuff, which is recording a video, which I know not everybody wants to do, but I highly recommend it because, again, they're going to really get to know you. You can build more rapport with video than you can without. But there are ways to do this without recording videos. So, and I'll get to your question in a minute, Patricia. So the other way you can go is just use static images. So I'm going to bring up one here that I ran this morning. I ran it exactly the same way I just showed you guys, right? I just went into Facebook, and instead of running a video ad, I ran a regular ad without video. When it came time to upload the creative, all I did was upload a quick picture of the office with the URL kind of over the top like this. And it's just so simple. It just says, thanks for visiting FairFloridaRealEstate.com recently. If you need anything at all related to buying, selling, or investing in Taos County, feel free to get in touch. And that's it. This isn't really so much about them doing anything right now. It's about reinforcing the relationship and making a very affordable, tiny little touch so that now they were on our website and we're starting to burn that brand name, for the company. If you have a team, for the brokerage, we're starting to do those tiny little micro touches that lead to more trust and deals. So this could be it, guys. You could take a picture of yourself, put your cell number on it, whatever it might be. Hey, thanks for visiting the website recently. So let me answer Patricia's question. Is there software for computers like there is for phones, like teleprompter, so you can see your script? I think you can do that with Screencast-O-Matic. So you can read a script while you do it. There are things that do that. I just haven't used one. If anything, you could just put it in a notepad, your script, and just read it. Put it like this. I have my camera here, my app here, and then over to the left, I can have a notepad. Rather than trying to find software, this is probably how I would do it. I would just write the script here. Hi, thanks for, because they're not going to see that you are reading that. It's going to look like you're looking at the camera as you record it. And then, yeah, so Patricia, the question is, do you recommend generic ads to the general list of people that you've had? Yes. Something is better than nothing. So if you have people pixeled from your Keeping Current Matters or KV Core, you can start today targeting everybody who's hit that pixel. Dennis says easy prompter is a thing that'll help you have the script. I promise though, guys, it's better if you don't have the script. And the reason I say that is if you can do it naturally, it's better. If you could just talk to them as if they're sitting right in front of you, like, hey, thanks for visiting my website. That takes a little practice, but it's really not that hard. Just pretend you're talking to a friend and it'll start to come naturally. But yeah, this looks pretty cool. Easy prompter. Okay. Now, so those are a static image on Facebook. We did some YouTube and Facebook video ads. And now I want to show you guys how to run a responsive display ad on Google. So Google has this thing called responsive display that will let you make easy text ads without a lot of hassle. It does take a few minutes to kind of write some headlines and stuff, as I'm about to show you. But this is probably a very simple way to just get a retargeting ad done without stressing about content at all. And then what's really cool about these is they will run across Google's vast ad network. Google has partnered with millions of sites around the web through their AdSense, I think they call it. They probably call it something else now. But basically, if you own a website, you can put Google's snippet of code on your site, and it'll show other people's ads on your site, and then Google will share the revenue with you. So what we're doing, we have the ability to do is to be one of those people advertising on other sites through Google's ad network. So let's go ahead. I'll show you what this looks like. We're going to click New Campaign. We'll do website traffic. Continue here. And this time we're going to choose display. This one. And we'll do standard display campaign. The website people will go to after clicking the ad will be your real estate website. Targeting. And actually, I'm going to do one for the company in general, not me. Okay, so foreverflowerrealestate.com. Display. Continue. Again, I'll just leave it broad. I mean, I can keep it United States, Canada, but these are only going to be people who visited the site anyway. Click next here. Spend $5 a day. I don't need to set a target cost per action. I really would rather, you see what I'm doing here for bidding? I'm actually changing this to viewable impressions. So yeah, it's confusing me. It kind of wants me to do the conversion things. Let's stick with conversions. You can do it either way, but you'll want to watch the results, your costs in both, but the conversions is probably fine. Click next. And then we're going to add our targeting. So right here, I think it's audience segments. It is. And then you're going to choose your retargeting audience from this list. So I'm looking for my Forever Florida audience. So I'm looking for how they have interacted with your business, website visitors, and then it's just all Forever Florida visitors. So yesterday, guys, we covered this when we created these audiences. And you can see for $5 a day, this is kind of funny, you can get 60 to 190 clicks because Google will show these on mobile phones. They'll show them. There's a lot of sites that there's potential for this to show on. And usually for direct lead generation, display ads aren't going to be the best thing. You're going to waste a bit of money. It's a really tough game to generate leads directly off display. You really need to know what you're doing. And there's a whole method for that, mostly which involves spending a few $1,000s to get the data and then to know where to target, which is interesting. But for retargeting, display works because all we are concerned with is that people see our brand name and it feels like we're following them everywhere, right? So this is less focused on generating the lead and what the cost per lead is, as it is just getting those tiny little micro impressions that lead to trust and business. So I've selected that audience. And then now is the part where we're going to kind of feed Google's monster engine some data. So they want the final URL. I'll do my HTTPS, that. There we go. And then cracks me up. They only give you 25 characters for the name. But if you're longer than, we're longer than 25, you kind of have to give the wrong name. I don't really know how to get around that. So I just did Forever Florida LLC. It's close. It's Forever Florida Real Estate LLC, technically. So put your business name in there. And then what you can start to do is put in your headlines and your images and logos, and Google starts to make ads, but the algorithm mixes them all together and you don't have to do much. So you'll see what I mean by this just a second as this builds. I'm looking for our logo. It'll take a second for all these to load. But this is fairly straightforward, guys. You go through the wizard in Google, make sure you target your retargeting audience, and then we're going to choose some of these images if they ever decide to load for me. Looking to see if it would just grab. See if I can get a logo. Okay, I'm going to give that a second and skip to headlines. I'm not sure why Google's taking so long to load these. Okay, in the interest of continuing, it did grab some images from our website scan. So I'm just going to use these for now. I'm sure if I was more patient, you guys are just kind of waiting on me here. If I was more patient, I'm sure those would eventually load in a minute or two. But for now, I'm just going to use those two. I was hoping to get our logo in there somewhere, which you'll want to do too. All right, so headlines. We can do something like search thousands of Pinellas listings, homes. Wherever Florida real estate, we'll just put our name. So you can put a few different headlines, long headlines, search thousands currently available homes in Pinellas County. And description, check your house value to, just kind of put a bunch of different things. Find your dream home today. Opportunity knocks. Search investments on our site now. And then what Google is supposed to be doing here, where you see it wigging out in this example, is it's supposed to be loading me a bunch of different versions of this ad that combines all these images and this text. So a little frustrating that the browser itself, the Google interface isn't showing us those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this and hope that in a minute or two I can come back and it's working. Give Google time to figure it out. Let's publish. Okay, so it created it. But I really want to show you guys what one of these ads looks like. So let's hope that it kind of builds. All right, I'm going to try something. I'm waiting for that to load. I'm going to try opening up a new browser. I've been using Brave, which is Chrome, but perhaps it's got an issue. Like there's something about Brave that it's just not liking. I really want to show you an example of these. And you guys have seen these all around the web. They're just kind of out the corner of your eye. They're pretty much everywhere you go. You're seeing Google display ads on Google's display network. Okay, just bear with me here. All right. I'm in the account on a new browser. Because they're really cool, these ads. And I want you to see the punchline after all that. So I'm just gonna grab this link here and paste it into Chrome instead of Brave. Let's see if we get lucky. And it's the same with Facebook. It feels to me like as time goes on, these platforms get worse. Like they don't get any better. They get harder and harder to use with all these little weird glitches and stuff. In this case, it might have been user error because it's fire. The fact that I'm using Brave, maybe there's something about my Brave browser that it wasn't liking. But you can see here, scrolling in the middle, it's creating different versions of the ad on the fly. And I think one of the really cool things about that. I don't want rapid rewards. Sorry, guys. Oh boy. One of the really cool things about that, the fact that it's spinning up all of these different ad variations, is that, again, to the people who are on your website, it feels like they're seeing 20 different ads from you, right? So all the ones you see scrolling there are showing up anywhere they go. So if they go to a site like Zero Hedge, I like to use this one because I know they have a lot of these kinds of ads. You see these over on the right side. That's an example of what they look like. Here's ClickFunnels advertising because I was on their site. This is a retargeting ad that I'm getting. Here's another version of Russell's ClickFunnels ad on the left side. So this is where you'll be. So as people go around the web to whatever sites they're visiting, it's going to feel like you have this huge marketing budget. You're following them everywhere. They're seeing you on YouTube, they're seeing you on Facebook, and now they're seeing you on Google display and with ads like this. Does this make sense, everybody? Sorry that for the tech difficulties there, but I really wanted to show you the effect of these ads, and I think it's worth seeing. And what we're doing here is we're starting to build a multi-channel retargeting system where it's not just one channel, it's on multiple. But once you do the labor here, it's probably a couple hours. If you can dedicate an afternoon to this, maybe, put it on your calendar, 2 or 3 hours, just record some videos, make sure you get the audiences set up. You can have 2 or 3 of these ads set up, the YouTube one, the Facebook one, and maybe this display one, and it can just run. You don't have to put any additional work into it. You can just leave it run for years. Really, you can, mess with it and edit it and stuff, but you don't need to really manage this from day to day. But what you'll have done is install the system into your business that helps increase conversions over time. So I don't see any other questions and comments. I don't know if you guys are all trying to run these ads right now. So yeah, Roger, I'll answer that question in a minute. So I think we've done pretty good showing how to run these and some examples of the creatives. Does everybody feel pretty good about that? The only other things that I'll mention is that if you want to do kind of prettier animated banner ads that are not random but static, you can do that and upload those to Google. And that's in fact what we do with our retargeting offering in the marketplace. So if you type retargeting in and you see this Google display brand retargeting, bring the volume down on this, you can see an example. That's kind of our demo ad. It kind of animates and it pops up in the sidebar. As part of this service, we create the ad and we'll run the ad for you. That's $100 a month, just flat, and includes the ad creation and management. But you could also create similar banner ads for yourself. You can either have somebody on Fiverr do it, which is probably what I would recommend, because for a few bucks you can get a cool animated banner ad made. And I'm sure if you search on Fiverr, somebody can do that for you. You can upload it to Google, or we use it was called bannersnack.com, and they rebranded to Creatopy. I think a Bannersnack was way better, but it's these guys right here, and you can make animated banners for yourself. But I would say that the display ones that I just showed you are totally fine. That it's going to rotate, but you can get a little fancier with it if you want. And then just another comment on the creative and the type of stuff you can do. Basically, any other ads that you're running for your business. So say you're in the new construction niche, you have a nice funnel going, a growth system going for new construction. People are opting in to get a list of all the new construction properties. But you decide, hey, I've got an open house this weekend that I need to promote. Well, you could take that audience of people who are coming in off your new construction ad and invite them to the open house. So, or invite them to come get their house value on your sell page. So the point is that on the creative front, you can show anything that you would show to anybody else, show it to your retargeting audiences as well, because you're always going to get a cheaper cost per action from the people who already know you and have been pixeled and are seeing you all around. So just keep that in mind. Make sure you promote to your retargeting audiences because they're high value. Okay. So Elizabeth's asking, how can I copy of your page with the schedule and links to examples? This one right here. I'll drop this again in the chat. Yep. So you should be able to see it in Zoom right now. And if anybody's watching the replay on YouTube, I'll try to make sure I get that in the description in YouTube. And then Roger's question, do I have a recording of how to promote the What's My Home Worth widget in Facebook and Google? How to run a simple What's My House Worth ad? We've done that a lot. So let me see what I can find for you. And I'm pretty sure in the next level members area, there's specific things there. My only caution would be, my word of advice would be that it's gonna be frustrating, because you're gonna get a lot of people who enter only their address and they don't continue to the next step. And even the people who do, they're not necessarily seller leads. We've been down this path a lot where you try to generate a direct seller lead off of somebody who's doesn't have a lot of intent on Facebook. They're kind of just browsing and they're like, oh, what's my house worth? Cool, I'll click on that. They enter their address and they just bounce off, but they're not really thinking of selling their house. So I like to say that just to save people some stress. Last week, we did this 5 reasons why you might sell, and we've done a lot of examples of more structured offers designed to pull seller leads over the past few weeks. You can just see them in the archives here. Probably in the last month, we've done a handful of things like this. So here's seller lead form ad on 125.22. Might be a good example of what you're looking for. And then on our main channel, search seller. So basically, this is just a search of our YouTube channel for everything kind of seller related. I showed some ads that were working and some that weren't. This one with Josh on 124 is really good. Josh shows what he does to follow up with his ads, and it's really cool. So I just dropped that link to everybody. It's just search seller on our YouTube channel, and it's a little bit down. This one, how to generate seller leads with Facebook ads, is outdated because we used to be able to collect an address with a Facebook lead form, and we can't do it anymore. It's kind of a bummer. So a lot of the older stuff, it might feel a little outdated, but might have some relevance in either way. Okay, guys, are we feeling pretty good about our knowledge of retargeting? That's what I was hoping to do. I definitely think this is a critical thing to include into your real estate growth systems after you've done the other stuff. You got to get a traffic source coming in, right, around a specific niche and property type. You got to make sure that you're automatically triggering property alerts and that you're doing a smart campaign that tries to get people talking to you quickly, those conversation starting campaigns, all the things we talked about in the growth system webinar. But as you evolve your growth system, you're going to want to layer in this kind of stuff. And I think it makes a lot of sense. Probably the time you spent with me this week learning this, plus another hour or 2 to set it up, and you can be done and not think too much about it. And then tomorrow, I figured we would do snail mail retargeting. I wanted to show off some of what Thanks.io can do to automatically send people who visit your website a postcard or a letter as a follow-up. And then I'm going to put etc. here because I'm sure there's other ways to retarget that I'm not quite thinking about. There's other networks. So anything else that's kind of miscellaneous, we'll touch on tomorrow. So I'll get you. I know we got some Josh fans here. Patricia, let me get you Josh's webinar. Wish I could get him to just take a job here, make my life easier. All right, here's Josh's the webinar. Josh, he goes deep in that webinar about how when they get a seller lead, him and his assistant go through a process to really get to know the person and to send some follow-up stuff to them. Great. So Roger's question is cool. I hope you don't mind me sharing, Roger. You're kind of posting that to me only, and I don't think other people can see it, but he wants to create a limited time offer or flexible commission. Would this be better as a squeeze or a landing page? I would do a landing page. And then something like flexible commissions. So I don't know, flexible commission rate when you sell your Pinellas County home. I might be rusty here. Get a flexible, and let me know if I'm breaking antitrust rules, guys. Whenever say the word commission, it's like, am I gonna get somebody in trouble? We'll get a flexible commission rate, and we do as low as 1%. 1% for the seller side. Nobody get mad at me. Just doing an example. I know this is hot button here. Reduce commissions, right? And then maybe I would use the address capture page or something like that, or maybe the lead generation. I'd be like, watch, get details now. Use a different background. So maybe something like that. Thanks, Patricia. Yeah, but a landing page that shows what it is. The harder part is creating the content that they're going to opt in for. So you need to create something pretty cool. I think last week we did, 7 reasons why now might be a great time to sell. And I shared slides with you guys in that webinar. So some kind of content like that is the harder part. And then building a landing page that offers the content is pretty straightforward and simple with KV Core. Okay, so I think we're probably good for today, guys. Thanks for following along, and we'll be back tomorrow just to talk, kind of round out the retargeting week. We'll go a little bit outside of the box with some other ways to retarget, but the basics are here. Get something live on Facebook, get something live on Google and YouTube, and you've got a pretty good system there that'll help you convert more of your leads. Okay, see everybody later. The replay will be right here on this playlist, and